Hello and welcome to episode 218 of the Immaterial Gamers podcast.
I'm always doing something
218.
stupid when the intro happens. I'm just like, stretch. I'm like, I rub my nose. It's like I've never just like, hey, cool guy on this
Hey!
podcast today.
Don't worry about it. I've been caught out just like staring at a screen, updating, the social medias while we go.
Yeah. So, episode 218. Who do we have today?
218 podcasts. Wow.
Yeah.
Who do we have today? We got Terry, me. It's weird saying Terry, talking about myself in third person.
That's the one.
But we
Terry-
also
Terry
have this
likes-
guy over here, Mr.
Oh,
Duncan.
hey, it's me. It's the guy that shows up once every like 30 episodes when I randomly have a Sunday or I'm not doing anything else. But
Hey, that's
Duncan.
fine.
That's me.
And then we have this random other guy down here, the other random guy.
Oh, you hardly ever see him. He's
He
barely
doesn't show up
relevant
on
to the
this Twitch at all.
I'm non-existent. What do you mean? It's just like,
He doesn't show up on Twitch ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Ryan, by the way. That's the thing. It should say under my nameplate below. But...
It does say under your nameplate.
Oh, good.
And it doesn't say Stefan anymore.
Good.
And Duncan doesn't say Ryan.
Cool.
Your name doesn't fit in your nameplate because you suck.
Yeah, well, I could move it, but I don't want to.
Are you just like...
Yours is also the smallest, and it still doesn't fit in the nameplate.
Ah, shit.
Figure that one out.
You know what I need to do? I need to get some mod stuff going. I just missed out. You see, this is what happens when you do it late. Duncan's not been here for a while. Terry, speak to him for a sec.
What up?
I'm speaking to Duncan.
You are.
We are having a conversation.
Are we? Is this a? I don't know if this counts.
You're speaking and then I'm speaking, so I'm pretty sure that is a conversation.
Now we're having a conversation. See, you have to have like an interchange. We're like talking about something, and we weren't before. Now we are talking about.
We were talking about having a conversation.
We were false. It was an imitation conversation. You know how you get the like imitation crab? It's not actually crab. I don't even know why they bother calling it that.
What? What are you even talking about now?
You get it at like fish markets and stuff. It's just like a little. It's like I don't even know what fish it's made of, but it's just like an orange and white meat. They call it imitation crab, and
imitation crab.
Well, it's what most like crab consumption is, but it's not crab at all. It doesn't taste like crab. If you have it adjacent to real crab, they're completely different. So I don't know why they bother with it. I actually don't. I want to look up what is imitation crab.
What is imitation crab?
What is imitation crab? It is. It's just fish. What?
It's just
what? But like, what kind of fish?
Imitation crab is what it is. It's the type of fish. It's a fish named imitation crab.
What it?
Hey, Ryan's back.
It doesn't tell me. It doesn't even say. Like, is it just made of like whatever shit they've got left over? Like, what?
That's what it sounds like.
This is whatever. It's even worse than I thought.
It's even worse than.
Oh God!
It's just the random junk that's left over.
What fish is imitation crab?
It's kind of like hot dogs. Whatever's left over.
It's like the most common thing. Well, you know.
It's like hot dogs. Whatever's left over, they just put together.
Yeah, and they just shove it in a intestine. Great.
Well, it's not an intestine anymore, but
I guess sausage is more commonly used. These
yeah,
intestine thing now. I don't know what they use for hot dogs.
We're now a food talking stream.
Love it. I hate hot dogs actually.
Why?
They're so gross. They're so salty and greasy. It doesn't taste like real food. It just tastes like it tastes like an accident. It tastes like
it tastes like an accident. So, Ryan,
there are a lot of foods. There are a lot of foods, like traditional meals that are like made of just like random garbage you have laying around your house. Like they are designed to use up leftovers. That is what they're supposed to do, and they don't taste like that because people know how to fucking make them. Hot dogs taste like they are made out of the leftovers. They taste like they are made out of garbage.
Oh, that's good, but Mechanically recovered meat.
Yeah, Ryan, we are now a food stream. We're not a
Oh,
gaming
we're a
stream
food
anymore.
podcast now.
Yeah, because that's all we
Right.
talked about.
Well, I was about to say, considering what I'm about to talk about in a minute, yeah, we're definitely not a video game podcast. We're
Everything
we're a
but.
podcast by people who play video games.
To
Yeah.
be fair, in
See-
our layout, all you can see are the getters or the gars.
We're the almost GF RS.
We're the Jeffers. Yay!
Immaterial Jeffers.
That's me. I'm the Jeff.
You're the
So
Jeff.
here's the exciting thing. So the funny thing, I was trying to run around, and by the way, there's a torn about computer case over there, and we'll get to that story later. It's one of my old computers. It's got a towel on it. Don't ask why.
Was it cold?
But so I was trying to go around to my phone. It's not cold. The computer's not cold. Don't worry about it. So I was trying to actually go and grab my phone while we started. I didn't realize where it was, and I searched around the entire house. And do you know where it actually was?
Right in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. It was underneath the sign. This is a sign.
That is a sign.
It's certainly a sign.
Yeah,
Because
and the fact that you couldn't find your phone under the sign is a sign, also.
yeah, it's just an absolute sign. Because I'm just trying to.
Apparently, Stefan wants you to feed him, Ryan.
Stefan,
you wouldn't want to keep him waiting. He gets
Ah.
hangry.
Well,
It's
yeah,
now the
well,
Lily
he's gonna-
podcast.
Lily is emerging from the void.
he's gonna have to oh God, by God, it's Lily's music.
Lily's face doesn't work, but the rest of her does.
Oh,
Discord doesn't know how to resolve Lily's face.
Oh,
It's
now
like,
it does.
it kind of looks like a face, but it's definitely not a human face. How do
Well,
I
it's not
deal with it?
Discord that's doing this. It's Nvidia. Nvidia doesn't like dogs, apparently.
Wow, racist.
there's a lot of stuff Nvidia doesn't like. Such as contracts with other companies like EVGA.
I was going to say EVGA no longer dealing with Nvidia.
Yeah,
Rip.
you and D discussed that you and Steph discussed that a couple of weeks back.
I think it was.
Where
I don't remember
the time
who it
where
was. Steph
the
or
time
D.
where I accidentally put one of my passwords in the chat.
Yeah.
It is no longer a password for one of my things, but yeah, I did that.
I think it is. I tried it. It worked on some things.
Will you leave me alone? Anyway, yeah. Before we get to the video gamey stuff, oh man, I had a good night last night. My throat hurts. I am doing well to be on here today, but my
The
throat
context
hurts.
could be very taken out of
I will
context.
explain this now. Like a few months back, I was talking about going to a wrestling show.
I remember.
Well,
I eventually went to that. I went to that wrestling show last night. It was SOVPRO Wrestling's debut show in Manchester, called First Reign. If you want a very, very short review of it, it was fucking awesome. If you want a slightly longer review of it, give me a second, because that's the reason why my throat is not as great as it was, because I was enjoying myself all night. I was there with Martin. We got there to the venue at like 7:15. The show was due to start at 8. This is right. This is the thing that I'm going to say on it. When the thing that you can turn around and say is it started late. What they bloody do? That was the biggest problem, because it was fucking great all the way through. We didn't get out until 12:30, so it was nice to say the very first wrestling show I've ever been to was a 2-night show.
2-night show.
Very nice. There you go. Yeah, there you go. It spanned 2 separate dates.
2 for the price of 1.
Oh yeah,
really, it's a hell of a bargain. But yeah, man, I'm trying to imagine what British wrestling would be like. It's like I'm imagining, like, because it's in the north, obviously it's got to be a lot more like vicious, because you Northerners, no fight is over until blood has been spilled. But they also got to like make room for like mandatory tea breaks at the same time. So it's
all right. No,
it's the give and take.
the tea breaks thing didn't happen, but there was an interval in between, and there was like a bar where you could get beer and soft drinks and pretzels, hot dogs, like classic wrestling thing.
Duncan's favorite
That doesn't
food.
matter. That does not. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
mechanically recovered meat.
mechanically recovered pretzels.
Well, the mechanically twisted pretzels. Um, but yeah, no, it was really enjoyable. There was like it didn't it went on for what 4 hours. It didn't feel like 4 hours, and I came home like not able to go to sleep because I fucking enjoyed it all the way through. You want to have an idea what British wrestling would be like? Let's give an example of a match. There was a women's match, Harley Hudson versus Mariah May, in I think it was a Dreamhouse Deathmatch match, or the stipulation was known as "if it's pink, it's legal."
If it's pink,
Um,
it's legal.
yeah,
Explain.
so like in a hard, right? So like remember your old classic hardcore matches, yeah, where people would come out with like dustbins and bats and
All right.
2x4s and stuff like that. So the whole idea is that it was those sort of weapons, but they were pink.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So pink pig, glitter. There was a pink license plate that said Oasis on it. We're in fucking Manchester, of course. It was going to be Oasis. So anyway, here's Wonderwall.
You're my
There was
Wonderwall.
pink sticks, a pink guitar, all in a pink dustbin. Even the referee changed his zebra colours to pink and black as opposed to white and black. Um, and and so when you
and
think like
and this pink 9mm pistol that I brought from home.
no,
It's and
but
I
the
painted the bullets too. It's all legal.
but they also did they had a standee, a sort of a 1 foot standee of the Grammy award winning pop singer Pink on the
Very
side.
nice.
And so like also when you think, death matches, barbed wire, or thumbtacks, drawing pins, whatnot.
Very
No, no,
nice.
no, 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 no. No. Harley Hudson had a different idea. She brought out a
Chainsaw.
pink rucksack and spilled out on the floor Lego.
Oh no.
Pink Lego.
It's 1,000 times worse.
Which which led to the chants. Oh, it led to the chant of "You sick fuck, you sick fuck, you." It's like, but no, that was oh no man, that was an awesome match. Right, all the matches were great. It was, you sort of like, like I talked about, I enjoy wrestling and how Steph doesn't get how I enjoy it, and like a lot of what I say is narrative. It's like it's not explicitly words on a page, but it's the idea of telling a story from beginning of the bell to the end through this form of, you know, soap opera with drop kicks. But
it's,
uh,
it's like a soap opera. I'm trying to think
yeah,
of like I'm trying to work in like some kind of wrestling pun into the phrase soap opera.
suplex opera or something like that. It's just
Soup,
like,
soup opera.
yeah. But that was great. I mean, from the sort of the beginning match, which was sort of a debut match. I'm trying to actually bring my balls, because what I had on this is that minus a few of the wrestlers, this was sort of a new experience. So all these wrestlers coming out were telling their stories to me effectively for the first time. It's like I've been said that I've grown up on WWE and then sort of the big wrestling promotions, never really ended up in the indie promotions, bar like the old times where our local community center would do a American wrestling show with a guy whose name had like an umlaut in the U, so he could legally define himself from the Undertaker, because the Undertaker. Um,
Undertaker.
so that sort of thing. So it's sort of actually having
The
this like
beneath grabber.
yeah.
It's
so
like
yeah, so
grab.
having the yeah, so sort of having this this sort of situation where these wrestlers who have been in the British wrestling scene for ages, and a lot of them come from, or like a lot of them now needed to find homes from NXT UK, which was WWE's development brand. So there was like the sort of people would learn the WWE way in NXT and then move on to the main brands, and then end up in the audience, get told they had no story for them, and then get sacked 2 weeks later. And, the
Goodbye.
unfortunate way of British wrestling. But um, yeah, man, all the matches. I'm just trying to bring up the card again. Hold on, bring up Cage Match. That's the best. That's the best way of doing it. Cage Match is a site where you can look at sort of events and win-loss rates for wrestlers. But yeah, so we had so there was this one. The very first match was Maverick Mayhew versus debuting Tom Therill. Or Thelwell. Oh God, I've butchered that name. I'm so sorry.
You're not
Yeah.
sorry.
But there was a stable called the Close Personal Friends, which you could guess they were close personal friends. They wore pink. They were great. They were great friends. The way that we all cheered for them into the ring, it was like going, oh, for them to do a little quick smooch on each other's cheeks. And by the end of the match, a quick smooch on the eventual winner as well. It's like, oh, I'll shake your hand. Yeah, it was a good match. No, no, no. It was like the old tango adverts of the '90s. It just like picked up his face and just
Good lord.
just give them that kiss. But that was fun. Lucia Lee versus Aurora Tevez. The first
Tibbers.
or Tevez. I'm
Have you
butchering
seen
names
my
because I'm
bear?
just reading them.
Oh my
No,
god.
no, no, no,
I
no.
feel like that would be a very uneven tag team. An
Yeah,
8-year-old girl and a flaming grizzly bear versus two
no,
random humans.
no. It was the first women's match, and it was great. And that led to a chant of sharing water before the match. Just a bottle of water, drinking to the chants of "Stay hydrated." Clap, clap, clap,
Stay
clap, clap. And then
hydrated.
clap,
My
clap, clap,
wife
clap.
Stay
left me.
hydrated.
Your wife left you, Duncan. You have to tell me about that.
That was it's just it's from what's it called? Impractical Jokers.
Oh yeah.
One of their missions was they had to try and start a baseball chant but they weren't able to choose theirs. They were given it, and they had to
Oh, they
try
were
and
given
work
that.
with it. And the chant they were
Oh,
given was "My wife left me." Right there.
clap, clap, clap up. Oh man. Oh,
And they had to go to an
uh,
actual baseball stadium to do this. Like, it's like in public.
oh no. Um, what else did we have? RJ Singh versus Benjamin Black. That was a rivalry. It was started due to baking, from what I read up
Baking.
on the lead up. Obviously, one of them decided they didn't like Great British Bake Off over the other. Um, the Benjamin Black character was a very sort of like, I will absolutely destroy you type of wrestling. Sort of just go in and just. You were talking about how British wrestling was like felt a little. You feel it'd be a bit more hard hitting. It felt stiff, but it felt stiff in a good way. You felt like it. Maybe that's just watching live as well. Some people just think, oh no, they just do fake punches on people's backs. No, when you hear it hit muscle, it's just like a big thud. Sometimes it happens, and welts from ropes. Uh, Joey Hayes versus Danny Duggan. That was a good match. Bringing in stables. That was the thing that I actually liked with this show. It wasn't a like it was going to be a one and done thing. They want to make it a promotion with storylines and stuff. So that was fun. There was a stable called the Collective. That's KILL.
Kill.
To be fair, one of them, believe it would have been Kelly Six, would have been his name, breezed past me in a yellow hoodie. So me and Martin, we weren't sat front row, we were sat one row behind. We were
Ooh.
effectively about as in the action as it was, which later happened in the world heavyweight title match, and I'll quickly get back to that. But yeah, this guy just runs past and was like, "Oh God, who's breaching security already?" And I was like, "Oh no, wait, it's a running."
There
Um,
you go. Who's
so
breaching
that was
security? Oh, he works here.
yeah,
He has
um,
he has what they call a VIP pass.
yeah. He was a very important professional wrestler. Um, that was a VIPW.
VIP woo.
Yeah, VIP. VIP. Tag team match between the 8-7 and CPS was brutal. There was just destruction everywhere for a tag team match. It was great.
There were
Uh,
out of the 4 people who entered, only one of them survived. It was just
uh,
devastation.
I mean, well, it kind of effectively was, because like the heel tag team, the 8-7, just like destroyed CPF. Remember, we talked about them before. They tried to give them a handshake and a kiss. It ended up with them just getting like smashed to the floor.
Oh
Uh,
no.
just as like a running, diving,
Heels.
like American football tackle through the middle rope and out of the ring.
No.
Uh, but then like the big match and what caused like, well, the two biggest matches. Every match got a pop as if it was just like the main event. But there was an elimination match. Let me see if I can get these names. And this is where the sign comes in. Easton Rees. He was just a big, massive bloke called the Alpha Male. He was just like 6'5" of just meat.
Meat.
HT Drake, Simon
Was
Miller,
it
who
mechanically recovered meat?
it
I
was
was gonna
not
say,
mechanically recovered
I was
meat.
gonna
It
say, is
was
it
it
just a
was
hot
A
dog?
walking hot dog?
it was worked out meat. HT Drake, proper like
Oh, the
brawling
rapper?
wrestler. No, not no, 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 no,
I d-
no. Just the normal wrestler,
I
not the
know
rapper.
he's really into like random like business ventures and stuff. Yeah, like a bar, he has a clothing line. Hey,
He might have been pouring someone a Strongbow Dark Fruit. I don't know. Um, Simon Miller, pro wrestling commentator turned wrestler. He was fun. Commander Stephanie Sterling of the Jimquisition fame. My God, they are tall. Y-
goodness.
I'm 5'10", but I'm average height. Martin is 6. He's 6 foot dead.
Years old?
No,
Oh my
6 foot.
god, he's 6 feet
He's not dead.
underground?
He's 6 foot. He's six
He's
foot dead, and yet he'd be looking up to Sterling. Let's go for that.
I thought it'd be
Um,
like I thought it'd be like six like I thought you would say like 6 foot now or so.
six foot
Something.
6 foot nothing. Would that have done for you?
There you go.
All right, fine.
He's
6 foot
6 feet of
six
nothing.
foot nothing and pales in height to Sterling. All right, there we go. Big Guns Joe, Smashing Mike, Kid Bandit,
Kid
who got the
Bandit.
who got the biggest fucking pop of the night. Just like running around. Had a situation where someone in the front row had come to the arena wearing a panda onesie and a stuffed Umbreon from Pokemon.
Okay.
Just had it on the ring side, and the situation where Kid Bandit was trying to, while getting the shit kicked out of him in the outside of the ring, try to tag in the Umbreon.
Umbreon, I choose you.
Yes, it was great. Just watching them whack. I think at the time it would have been Easton Rees in the back of the head with this Umbreon, and realizing that he just was going to no sell it because it's a stuffed Umbreon. Then brought out someone brought out a dinosaur whacking stick, like an inflatable. It was like a Pez dispenser. It was just a white stick with a dinosaur's head on the top of it. Um, and having Bandit whack Simon Miller over the head with it twice. No selling it, giving it to Miller to try and whack Bandit in the head, and proceeding to run away from it. But it was elimination match, and it was led to the 8th person of the match, which I have left last on purpose because that's my thing.
Oh yeah.
Ian Skinner,
S-
who ran into the match like a couple of entries in, proceeded to not get in the ring, sit at the commentator's desk, and was basically just like playing the weebly heel, just like
I was
running
gonna
away
say
from every
the
fight and
Weedle.
just
There's more
exploiting.
Pokemon involved.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could have been a Weedle. But yeah, that's the point of the other sign, which I did take a picture and I did put it on my Twitter for it. So on the back of the "This is a sign," backstory for this is that I initially listed how excited I was for the match, that match in particular, Bandit and Sterling, and then I listed all the other wrestlers' Twitter accounts with Ian Skinner last. There's no problem with being last, unless your name's Ian Skinner. who didn't
Okay.
like it, responded to me saying, "Never put my name last again." And then I had
Mm.
like responses from other wrestlers in the SOVPRO crew, just like, "Ah, don't worry, we might even, next time, don't even mention him." So, like
It would,
Screw
one of
that
them,
guy.
it would be really funny though if like all the other wrestlers were also like, yeah, no, seriously, don't do that. He will actually get you. He will
yeah,
actually come for you.
but no, because I know it's part of the whole stick. So I just thought I'd run along with it. One of the founders, Kelly Delorian, was just like basically hashtag fuck Ian Skinner.
It'd be funny to
That's
just be like, your response to that is like, yeah, well, watch this. I'm about to turn into John Cena. Block. You can't see me. My time is now. And then
I mean, I
unblock,
could have done,
obviously.
but I didn't. I didn't. I took it one step further. So, Shotty Horror, who was the main sort of founder of SovPro, requested people to bring in signs, and some people did. We saw some signs. Martin actually did bring in another sign for the pink match, which I'll get back to in a minute while we talk about something else after I've indulged myself with my love of pro wrestling. However, I said I was going to send Simon Miller, not Simon Miller. No, I was going to send Ian Skinner an apology sign, so I did. There it is. He's now top of the list. Finally,
I was
Ian
going
Skinner.
in Italy.
Except there's a slight problem with that, and I'm going to move away from the mic and take my headphones off because it wasn't an apology.
Holy cow.
Damn.
Ah, that was on my
That
mind for a
was
while.
that's funny. That's a very funny sign.
But so in the idea as well, just on that, the list of
Like
names
also
on there.
starring Ian Skinner.
Yeah. I mean, the thing on that as well is that the order of the wrestlers on there is the same order that they were tagged in the initial tweet as well. So just keep everything going. I got a lovely response from him after the match, which was just shut up.
Just shut up. It's like
So you know what? I
it's like
appreciate it.
it's like you might defeat me in the arena and in almost anything that any kind of competition that you can comprehend, but
Yeah, when it comes to sign
can
making,
I can do funny meme signs in a way that outwits you just a little bit.
yeah. So yeah, no, and then there was the title match, which was the world heavyweight title match between Joseph Connors, Malik Warhorse, who announced
Horse.
himself as being made of 4,000 pounds of heavy metal. Uh,
That's
he,
not what horses are made of. I
no,
don't think.
they're not. And Levi Muir, who had I
Pants.
feel for him, but ever the professional, managed to sort it out. So I forgot that in the it's legal match, Harley Hudson pulled out a can of Monster Punch
Oh yeah, I've had
in
that pipeline
the
punch. I've had it. It's good.
yeah, in the pink can, and
Oh yeah.
poured it all over herself, threw it over one of the cameramen or the photographers, who he wasn't happy about that. He just got covered in pink Monster. But Levi came out of the ring and he was going round the side and he ran towards our corner of the ring, and he pulled a what we'd call a Titus World slide. In that the poor guy slipped on the puddle of monster that was still on the outside of the ring
Oh no.
and just went. He was absolutely fine to the point that he actually took the piss out of himself for that. He just was just on the floor and just like a fish, which is like like a fish with no oxygen, just like, and he was absolutely fine. And what it led to was a time, when you're told by a wrestler or his manager at
No,
the
I
side
don't
that
know
was
that, but go on.
oh, well, there's a situation on here where you can have a manager, and Malik's manager was out there. The Don. I need to bring the I need to bring the activity out here because I've just lost all the names.
The
You lost all
Dawn.
the
Yeah,
names.
The Dawn
yeah, that's it.
They
from
might
Costa
Age
forget
of
who
Constantino.
you
Tomorrow?
are then.
Costa Constantino. the Don, the
The Dawn.
manager for the hitter Malik, walked to our corner of the ring partway through the match, along with Malik, and they both turned around and looked at us. And they went, "You dickheads probably don't want to be here." That's part of their thing. They walked out of the ring throwing the tosser symbol and double fingers and
Oh dear.
everything like that.
How
So we were just
lewd.
there, and we were too busy watching what was happening behind us in the tier. Warhorse and Joseph Connors were beating the living shit out of each other on this like tiered set of seats, and we heard a massive thud as like one of them gave a DDT at the top of the stairs. Suddenly on the outside, we hear whack as the security barriers come about 3 foot in front of us, and just a guy laid out on the side. People in the front row had thought, "Oh shit, yeah, maybe we should listen and move to the side." Yeah, if they were there, they wouldn't have had any legs.
Oh no.
Not the
So yeah,
legs.
when a wrestler tells you to move out of the way, you dickheads, move out of the way. Martin braced a couple of like high school chairs that were there, just like, yeah, no, you ain't hurting me. But overall, absolutely loved it. I'm waiting for the next show. Um, God damn it, better come soon.
Well, it sounds like you had a very lovely time, good sir,
I
good
loved it,
friend.
and now I will cede the floor so you can talk for a bit before we get to the news.
Man, it's wild that
Is there any
you
news?
also went to like a show. I also went to a show.
Oh,
It was not the kind in which people punch each other. It was of the comedic variety.
oh,
I my sister introduced me to the comedian John Mulaney
oh yes.
some years ago. He's now our favorite comedian because he's just a wacky young man who likes to talk about wacky young people things. And
Oh, good.
he starred in hit animated film uh um Into the Spider-Verse as the pig.
Oh, got Peter Porker.
Yep, that's him.
Nice.
And we went to a show of his live in Toronto. When was that? Like 2 weeks ago, something like that. Now
Oh yeah.
it was it was it was he was pea good, very funny. Lots of, I mean, obviously I don't have like the jokes in my brain, so I can't exactly like recite like, oh, let me
Why
explain to you.
not?
It's like I can describe to you someone punching somebody in a way that sounds cool, but it's hard to like, repurpose a joke unless you can, retell the joke.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was an interesting show because John Mulaney has had some recent troubles with uh, substance abuse and drug addiction
Mm.
and all that, and a lot of his show was like focused very much on that and like making jokes about his recovery.
So it's
And
like yeah. So it was like almost like the theme of his stuff then,
yeah,
or
yeah, the show
okay.
was called From Scratch, and I guess the idea is that it's like he's basically like starting over from scratch in terms of
Yeah.
like, you know reinventing himself now that he's no longer dependent on drugs. And one of the things he mentioned was that when he got sent to his rehab, he had like there was like nine fellow comedians were set up at like an intervention, and
Mm.
they tricked him into going there by saying it was just a dinner party, and
Oh
he
no.
showed up 2 hours late to the dinner party, which was
Yeah. Oh
actually his
yeah.
intervention. And the reason he was late is because he had gone to his drug dealer to buy a bunch of drugs, and
Oh no.
a number of like prescription drugs that he didn't have a prescription for, as well as 3 grams of cocaine. And he
Oh, as well.
shows up
Okay.
at his intervention with 3 grams of cocaine and a variety of other narcotics in his pockets.
Mm.
And he's like,
Yeah, I think he needed the intervention.
oh. He immediately knew what was happening. He's like, He's like, "Oh shit,"
Uh-huh.
and
When you realize.
so he was immediately sent to rehab after everyone had their had their talk. um Apparently there was actually kind of there was a funny instance where during the interview there was like 9 people there, and 8 of them had managed to get together and said, "We're not going to criticize John in our speeches. You know, you write a we're just going to talk about how much we care about him and how much he needs help and all that." And the
Mm.
ninth person who apparently didn't get the memo on that is the person who went first.
Oh.
And so he immediately starts to be like, "John, you've been selfish, you have been closed off, you have been neglectful, and et cetera, et cetera." And everyone else is going like, "No, stop."
Don't do
It's
it.
too late.
It's already happening.
Too late to apologize.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't get to talk about a show that I went to because I didn't go to any shows.
Ah.
Aw,
I
Terry's
just
living
got a
the boring
cold,
life.
which is why I'm
Oh,
bundled up.
Oh, right.
that's so
Okay, I just thought you
sad.
were. I actually just thought you were about to enter the ring. That's all.
Da,
Yeah, I'm just
da,
gonna rip it
da.
off.
If you had a ring entrance music, what would it be?
Way to pick a song to enter
I
a
don't even
ring.
know.
You pick as your theme song.
I mean,
Oh, the bus is coming. You better look busy.
uh,
I'd probably pick if I was to pick a ring song for me to come out to, I'd probably be like White and Nerdy by Weird Al.
I was initially
You
about to
see
say
me
that, but
rolling a front lawn.
yeah, that would have worked out. I mean, for me, I think it was like what is it? Just fire. Because I actually used to have a. Someone decided when we were in high school, I had the manager name, or I was the commissioner of our totally legal high school pro wrestling company. I was the commissioner Hellfire because my I
Hellfire.
I had you know
Yeah, but now Hellfire has a
ginger
totally
hair.
different meaning.
Yeah, yeah. So not anymore. But I guess I'd like to go out to Disco Inferno.
Disco
Disco
Inferno.
Inferno.
Yeah, that really inspires fear into your opponents.
I
Fucking 70s disco music is like,
No, 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 no. I would absolutely understand. I would absolutely understand that I would be jobbing out to people. My whole point would be I'd be the jobber to the stars. I'd just be walking out there, getting my ass kicked, and then just going bye to everyone who's walking out of the audience. I know my role. So Disco Inferno would be absolutely fine.
Would it though? Would it really?
It would.
Well, anyways, have you guys played anything interesting lately?
Yeah, now that we're
No.
45 minutes into this video game podcast and we've had our fun, anyone playing any video games lately?
Nothing that I haven't already been playing because stuff that I will be playing. Actually, I tell a lie. I tell a lie. Very briefly played a
Well,
game.
you're clearly not George Washington then, if you can tell a lie. But go on.
Oh. No, where I think we talked about it while we were playing, while we were streaming 100% Orange Juice / Among Us because 100% Orange Juice game servers went down in the middle of the stream. There's a game called Despots Game that come out on Game Pass and Steam. That Terry, actually, you like TFT,
I do.
and Duncan, you like roguelikes because you like FTL.
Sure.
Mash them together,
I'm squishing them.
and you have Despots Game. The setting is an evil AI has like taken over the world and enslaved humanity underneath his labyrinth of evil, and you guide a group of filthy naked humans in pixel art style, so they just look like pink blobs through a form of dungeons. So it's kind of got an FTL style move from one area to the next. sort of thing, but the combat is done in the form of an auto battler. So you
Okay.
don't fully control your units. You line them up on a board. You know what your opponents are. You line them up correctly. You let them fight, and hopefully you win and don't lose all your humans. Because if you do, you lose. But it has the auto battler components in it. Is that you can put humans on the map, and they're just normal humans, and they'll try and punch and most likely die. But you can equip weapons to them that you buy from the shop as you go through the levels. And when you equip them, they gain a trait. And if you have different weapons of the same trait equipped to your humans, they gain bonuses,
Mm-hmm.
i.e., your auto battler systems.
It's kind of an
Um,
interesting idea.
yeah,
No.
but you then the same currency you also use to upgrade like a mutation tree, which will then provide benefits to certain traits or give them more health or armor or stuff like that. And you also use it to purchase food because food is an important mechanic in this game. Is that every time they explore a room, they eat food equivalent to the amount of people in the army. So you can
Dude,
have a
imagine that was how
18
you lived
dudes.
your life. Is like every time you entered a new room, you had to immediately consume a meal.
That would be weird. Yeah,
That'd
it'd
be
be unfortunate.
difficult.
Yeah,
I have to go to the washroom,
all
but I
right.
have to eat 3 meals on my way there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah. So the idea on that is that you can't just build a massive army full of dudes because you'll soon have them all starving pretty soon enough.
It's kind of a neat
And they
idea.
then, if they
Mm.
starve, they take a 50% penalty to the amount of damage they deal, which means they'll most likely die because they're not dealing
Resource
damage.
management, roguelike
Yeah,
exploration, battle battler. I'm
yeah. It's
put me
basically
me.
throw all the stuff at the dartboard and it sticks. And I'd say it's a great game if not for the food mechanic because it ruins it. Because it's not
Oh.
just because it's not just the first time you explore a room you use food. It's every time you walk into a room, whether you've explored it before or not. And because all the levels are procedurally generated, there's a heavy chance of backtracking.
So you
Hmm.
need a lot of food.
Yes. And the currency you use to buy the food is the same currency you use to buy humans and weapons, and the same currency you use to use the mutations. So that resource management, I guess, is like any other auto battler because you level up your characters and you buy characters in auto battlers with the same currency. So it sticks mechanically to any other auto battler game, but I feel it's fine. I enjoyed it when I played it, but I could feel I'd get a bit
Hmm.
because of that system.
I
But
suppose that's a reasonable trouble.
yeah, so that's my interesting thing that I played. That's not the same stuff I've always played.
I, I played a game. I was
Did you?
playing a game with Jacob actually. It's a very interesting game, and we might actually want to try it out sometime for like a PlayStation type thing.
Oh yeah.
It's in Tabletop Simulator.
It's another
Oh.
tabletop simulator thing. What is it?
Yes. It is a tabletop simulator version of the tabletop card slash board game Arkham Horror.
Arkham Horror.
Oh. I have
So
played the board game of Arkham Horror. We didn't do well. I
yeah,
enjoyed it, but we didn't do well.
it's kind of like it's almost like the way I describe it is that it's kind of like playing D&D, except like the DM is like a deck of cards kind of
Yes.
thing. You know, like it has that, but it's also like a deck building game at the same time.
Mhm.
You know, you build your deck, um, like you from a certain pool of cards. You can construct a deck before you start the game, and it has to be a certain size. And aside from like quest rewards and stuff, your deck size always stays the same. You know, unless you have like certain events happen, or you have, you know, you buy certain upgrades, your deck size stays the same.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it's kind of like I mean, essentially, you know, you you generate a map based on whatever your quest is at the time, and you move tokens around on a board to try and like solve whatever the problem or complete whatever the quest is at at the time, and you could fight monsters. It's got that sort of that what's it called? What who's the guy with all the horror? That
Lovecraft.
Yeah, that guy. It's got that Lovecraftian sort of theming to it. You
Yeah.
know, eldritch,
Eldritch
higher
horrors.
dimensional god alien monsters are here to
Hulu.
destroy you, and your job is to prevent that from happening. And you're just a bunch of random dudes with various stats and skills, and you're here to try and survive the horror. And the game is very much stacked against you. Most of the random events that happen are unfavorable.
Yeah.
It is most of the things that will happen to you will be bad things that happen to you. You're not likely to randomly be like, oh, you explored a room, congratulations, you got 2 health. No, you're probably gonna like lose 2 health, or break a leg, or lose all your shit, or fight an eldritch monster. That's usually what the sort of random events in this game entail.
Mm-hmm.
You're an eldritch monster.
Your
But it's
face is
interesting
an
because it's
eldritch
like
monster.
it's a cooperative game that you play against the board.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a pretty fun game. It's difficult to explain because there's a fuck ton of moving elements in it. Like there is so much to describe. It would be easier to get into when there were like actual pieces on the board to show you. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty fun game. And the version that's on tabletop that Jacob downloaded, and I'll have to see if I can get like the same version that he showed me. It has a lot of like, it's very well built. Like there's a lot of functions built into it that make it very accessible and easy to follow what's going
So,
on.
so scripting. Is it got scripting in it then?
Yeah, it's got like scripting, like when you advance a scene or whatever, like you push a button and it'll place all the location cards exactly where they're supposed to be, and get all the token, all you can explore rooms to get clue tokens, which is sort of how you like advance the plot, and
Mm-hmm.
those all get set up automatically with the placements. There's no dice. The RNG combat mechanic is handled by tokens, which add mostly negatives, but some positives, depending
Mm-hmm.
on what you pull out of the bag.
Fair dues.
So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I rolled a 2, even though I'm like a 10 times stronger than this dude, so I lose anyway. It's like,
Ugh.
you're usually, as long as you're like 2 to 3 points ahead of what you would normally need to defeat this thing, you can reasonably expect to beat it pretty consistently.
Mm. Cool.
Less high variance plays, and just a lot of a lot of fun. I like it. And you get experience, like the campaign, like you have like these campaigns that are multiple sessions long.
Mm.
Like it'll take you hours just to do like one scenario, and that scenario is like one part of like a 9 level campaign or whatever that'll take you many sessions to do, and you get experience points for beating each map that you can spend to make your deck better.
Yeah.
Because hey, what's a deck building game if you can't make your deck better, right? That's half the fun.
It's all about the deck, baby.
It is. Show me the D.
Heck.
But yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah. By the way, Martin's pink sign.
legal.
We placed it
here.
on the front row. It wasn't used. Like I said, there was a license plate with Oasis on the front of it, which was used to clock Harley Hudson in the face. We heard it.
We got 5 minutes till the next ad.
Ripperoni pizza.
So can quickly set a snooze, and we'll play very quick news. There we go.
News.
Have we
Quick
got any news?
news.
Bong.
News time.
First piece of news: Stadia, surprising no one, is shutting down in early 2023.
Oh my god.
According to the Escapist, well, basically, the Stadia project team were caught unawares of Google just pulling the plug on Stadia, and the other surprise on it, that anyone who's paid for stuff for Stadia will be getting refunds.
Huh.
I don't believe that happened with Google Glass. So all those idiots with their £800 augmented reality spectacles,
Yeah. They didn't get it
didn't
back.
get shit there. Yeah, but Stadia, for the 12 people who are still using it.
Hey, you know what? It's like good for the customers that they're getting the refund. Not so good for Stadia because they have even less money now than they thought they did. But hey, you know
Yeah,
what? I'm pro. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm pro customer.
yeah,
But the people that work there don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's but like you say, that I think we discussed this 100% streaming service that could be pulled at any time. Point proven. Didn't
Well,
work.
that's the
But at
downside
least,
about any of those like streaming and stuff like that. Like it could literally just disappear.
yeah, yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? So fairly well, Google Stadia. You'll end up on the Dead by Google page soon enough. Next news that requires a very, very quick bit of background. Worlds 2022 has started for League of Legends. Playing stages are ongoing. Everything's fine. Don't look at the fact that it's become the COVID cursed edition.
No COVID cursed edition.
Fnatic had 2 players just arrive at Mexico for the playing stage and test positive for COVID. Mad Lions had players testing positive for COVID. Various other teams had tested positive for COVID. Just do that very quick snooze while we go on. Saigon Buffaloes didn't suffer COVID issues, but it suffered one of their players having a motorcycle crash a day before the event.
Mark Hamill.
That's not good.
He's fine, bumps and scratches, limping, but still very
You
cursed
don't need your
thing.
legs to play League of
Yeah.
Legends.
So the other thing that happens during Worlds is esports internal drama. So a few months ago, and this hurts a little bit as an XL fan. Oh, what a shocker! Ryan's found a bit about some unfortunate news regarding his favourite team. So a few months back, or at the beginning of the year, one of the founders of XL, Kieran Holmes Darby, had left XL to become the gaming director at Formula E. And it sounded like it was a harmonious ending. The video came out, goodbye Kieran, everything's all great. That's come along. Fast forward to October, and in what are we on? We're on the 2nd of October now, yeah? In 9 days, there will be an employment tribunal court case as Darby has sued XL Esports for unfair dismissal.
Oh, here we go.
We can't, because of the UK legal system, we will not know the result of the employment tribunal until the end of the case. But it has been confirmed by XL CEO Walter Schleivers that there has been a case brought against him. I mean, I guess it's a bit of a shame because basically both Kieran and his brother Joel founded that and got a bunch of people in to invest on the company, and what they're arguing is, I guess at this point, is that they got the money in and then it was saying, perfect, you've now got your team. We no longer require your services.
Huh.
So
Hey, it's important to remember this. It's very very important. There's no such thing as an amicable breakup because if things were amicable, you wouldn't be breaking up.
that's fair. That's fair. But I guess from me, I was just looking at it the other way at that time. It was just like, oh, wait, there can't be something going on. He wanted to go to Formula E. He was happy. He's basically the head of the global of Formula E's esports division and their championship Accelerate. But there's not much to go on it. It'll be a developing story because, like I say, we'll have to find out after the tribunal to see what happens there. And last bit of news, I don't really know if I can do much about this because it feels more like a press release rather than an actual piece of news. But it's Stefan and it's Dragon Age, so of course he is. Dragon Age Dreadwolf will reward fans and welcome new ones. No real context,
I was gonna
according
say
to the gamer.
it doesn't say much.
Yeah, there's some writing processes. Apparently, the lore's going to be accessible for new people while also expanding on things. It's basically it's that Top Gear meme from the UK Top Gear where James May excitedly says something about the Dacia Sandero, and Jeremy Clarkson goes, "Great, moving on." So, so in this
Like,
case, it's
anyway,
good. Dragon Age has got some story updates. Great, moving on.
I've still never
We
played Dragon Age and probably won't at this point. Like, I
And you
just
probably never
never.
will.
It's just
oh dear.
it's just not one of those franchises that I'm plugged into. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll be rewarded for being a new player. Great. Anyway,
Anywho, it's also October, and the Spooktober Spectacular officially begins tomorrow. If you're watching this live, if you're watching it on the VOD on Thursday, it's already started.
oh my god.
So that's the last bit of news there. I'll be playing Sam Barlow's Immortality, which is defined as is still tagged on Steam as horror, so therefore it's fine. It goes in. End of the month, I'll be playing Vampire Survivors from scratch, starting at 12 p.m. on the Saturday, the 29th of October, and finishing. I don't know yet. Play sessions are going to contain our spooky Halloweeny stuff, and hopefully,
Dude, if we don't have any hard plans yet, the game I just mentioned, Arkham Horror, that would be
Arkham Horror.
that's a perfect
Yeah,
Halloween game if we can figure out how to get that working.
I also need to get a confirmation because apparently, in October, Monster Road Trip is released.
Monster Roads, take me home.
So
Nice.
I need to find out when it's out and the first available session we can do a stream on that.
Absolutely.
That goes in there
I
as
know
well.
Andrew will be into that for sure.
Yeah,
Everyone always a crowd pleaser. That their monster
absolutely.
prom squad.
Yeah, and then basically any other streams that people want to do, like I say, once I get information of them, I'll update the Twitter thread that we've got. That goes there, and we
Yeah.
have a fundraiser.
Henry and I, we don't have a whole lot of really hard plans. There's a couple things that we have a good idea of we're gonna do. A lot of it's gonna be whenever the hell we've got time and feel like it and can
Mm,
get together, we're gonna just throw something out there through do a stream or something. We're thinking we
yeah.
might we're thinking we might finish Luigi's Mansion 3 at some point this
Oh,
year.
that might be an idea. That would
We
work.
got about
Hey,
3/4 of the way through it last year and said, dude, stay tuned for November when we'll finish this game. We didn't finish
yeah.
the game.
No. But we're gonna sort of get towards the wrap as well because I know Terry's short of time. But the last bit is there is a the fundraiser link I've put in the Immaterial Gamers chat. But if you can, we're supporting Cancer Research UK again as a
Hooray.
fundraiser. Fundraise.cancerresearchuk.org, and then if you search for the Immaterial Gamers Spooktober Spectacular 2022, our page is there. We've got a goal. Any support you would be great. During the Spooktober streams, we'd normally say that if you do come in and you'd feel like subscribing or sending bits, that'd be great. But if you want to support a charity, do the charity first. That's
Yeah.
how that goes. The non-Spooktober streams, any support as necessary will do. Right, I'll shut up.
All right, so you want me to finish outros, all that stuff?
Unless you've got anything else you want to say there, Terry. Sorry, you kind of
No, just
was just there.
going along with yeah, send the money to the charity. for the Spooktober event. And if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever you're on.
Hell yeah.
Hold up a sign for us.
Yeah, legal. I'm glad that Ryan is indicating that he's legal. I wasn't sure. I know he only like 30.
Audio versions of this podcast are available everywhere you get your podcasts, so you can listen to us if you want audio versions. And we'll be back next week, but we also have streams. Go ahead, Ryan. You know the schedule.
We have streams. So, like we say, Monday, not yet titled Monday stream. We'll be playing Immortality for Spooktober. I'm not 40. Tuesday and Tuesday is usually the sort of the day where if Duncan and Andrew are available, they'll do something. Like I say, they'll let you know.
We'll try and get on the Tuesdays, but you know
But otherwise, whenever they feel like it, really.
Yeah.
Wednesdays is
We're a
usually
wild
the
card.
Stefan slot. Whether he's doing anything or not, again, he'll inform. Wednesday, he's going for a Dragon Age takeover. Okay. I really would have tried to force him to play a horror game, but yeah, if he wants to carry on the Dragon Age Origins takeover, he can do it. Thursday, Teamfight Thursdays. We'll probably look to be back on Aram this week after a couple of weeks of TFT. Hopefully, if I can sort out the stream. Otherwise, someone else may have to host it, and we'll do it because OBS has been shit. Friday will be the first of our Spooktober play sessions, and then Saturday and Sunday will be the role-playing Nottingham Games Dragon Quest continuation.
Dragon Quest continuation.
Dragon Quest Z.
Dragon Z.
All right.
That's the schedule.
Well,
hooray.
Until next time, goodbye.
Peace.
Love and plants.